Welcome back to Fox 5 News on the Hill. As we head into 2019, the economy and the stock market continue to take center stage. Our old friend Mark Avallone is a personal finance expert and president of Potomac Wealth Advisors. And Mark, I almost think that you should have like one of those sticks that they measure kids on roller coasters to see if we're old enough to ride this, because it has been a ride this week. You were in the middle of it. You watched all of it. What was going on there? Why was the market, diving one moment and then roaring back the next?
Well, first of all, I think you have to expect some more of the same. I don't think it's smooth sailing either way right now. What happened in 2017, where the market at worst was down 3%, that's not going to happen again. We are going to have an up and down market. Three things are going to drive this market. One is the strength of the U.S. economy and corporate earnings, which is strong. The China talks, which are uncertain, and the Federal Reserve and interest rate policies. If you want to know what's going to happen to stocks in 2019, it's a good bet it's going to come from those three factors.
Now, you don't have to be a financial expert to know that Wall Street doesn't like it when interest rates go up. It does tend to have a reaction. But this seems something more. Was there a specific thing that the street was reacting to this week? We know the government shutdown is out there. We know that this China instability and the trade mechanism still reflects. What was it directly that caused these wild swings that we saw?
Well, it's sometimes the death of a thousand cuts. You have Brexit overseas, you have French riots, you have trouble with European banks, the China trade talks I mentioned, but the biggest factor is the Federal Reserve. The biggest factor is interest rates. And when stock prices were high, and they were at all-time record highs, and the Fed said, we want to slow this economy down, that caused some problems. The good news here, Tom, is that if stock prices have dropped and valuations are more on sale, it makes stocks more attractive on a relative basis than they were 3 months ago.
So, as a layperson, you would look at that and say, maybe this is a good time to get into the market or get your portfolio expanded a little bit?
Well, sometimes you buy things on sale at the department store, and it's because it's a fashion nobody wants, and sometimes you get a great deal. You really don't know.
I'm good at that one.
Okay.
The fashion nobody wants.
But there is an opportunity here. If the U.S. economy stays strong, stocks are at a near historical, actually slightly below historical valuations. So if we get good corporate earnings, they could do well. The problem is no one really knows the future. So if you're not a long-term investor, if you don't have a high risk tolerance, it's really not a place for you to invest.
You've heard this. There has been talk over the last couple of days that we could be heading, maybe not to a 2008 level, but some recession in 2019. How likely is that, and how does that affect what happens on Wall Street?
Well, the economists that we watch say it's about a 1/3 probability, maybe about a 35% probability. And you're right. If we do get one, everything is not a 2008 meltdown. People have to relax a little bit, understand there are economic cycles. We might have a minor recession. No one's pointing to a crash right now.
But in some ways, at points, a cooling off of the economy, nobody wants to see a crashing recession like 2008, clearly. But to take the foot off the gas a little bit, sometimes is not the worst thing in the world.
No, you can readjust your portfolios. You can pull down your risk tolerance, especially if you're losing sleep at night. Remember, crashes happen when there's euphoria and exuberance. Think 2000, think 2008, when no one knew anything was wrong. There is such a wall of worry out there right now. I think if we have a correction, we have a pullback, it'll be relatively minor. And I think if you're long-term with a high risk tolerance, you have to sit through times like that.
You are a voice of reason. You've calmed me down immensely this morning. Mark Avallone, president of Potomac Wealth Advisors, and our financial guru that we bring you from time to time here. We thank you, Mark. All right, stick with us. Fox 5 News on the Hill continues right after this.